Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. My name is Latifullah, and today we are going to work on a real project. So we'll first go through the client's brief and then see how we could execute the project in Adobe Illustrator. So it's actually a project like that, but before jumping into the project, I would like to introduce Mr. Kashif Ahmed. He's also a designer and works with ILUGfx, and I think for the first time stating this name in front of you guys. So we'll talk about this later in detail. Let's go to the client's brief and see what we could do with that. So this is the client's brief, and let's go through this first. So it says to the use of Adobe Illustrator software for creating simple vector icons. So these are the specifications about artboard size, the color mode, the layers to be used, the file name, etc. And these are the submissions. He wants the source file and the name as I mentioned above, and these are the grading criteria. We're not interested in this, but these are the examples which are mentioned here, that see examples. So we have to create a number of icons, so minimum 3 icons are required. So we will now go to the Adobe Illustrator. I've opened the Adobe Illustrator 2022, and here if we look at the artboard size, it has given 1.5 inch cross 1.5 inch with a color space RGB. So we'll go to the Adobe Illustrator, create a new file, and once we create on click on the create new, we will have these default artboard sizes. So we'll go to the web, no, sorry, not the web, but print media. So there we would have an option I will go to the print, and if you go to the print, so by default the color mode would be CMYK. If you go to the web, so by default the color mode would be RGB. So now we are asked to make it in RGB, so we would stick to the web, and then let's change our units to inches, and it was 1.5 times 1.5. So we have this artboard 1.5 times 1.5. the color mode is RGB, and we can then click on the create to create our artboard. So once our artboard is ready, we will then plan icons, that what kind of icons we can create in this project. So we'll be basically required to create 3 icons. So for that I would like to use basic shapes in Adobe Illustrator. Like you could see that we have different kind of shapes here, and if I use the drop down and see which options we have the rectangle tool, the rounded rectangle tool, and other tools like ellipse tool, polygon tool. So before doing this, I will first go to a browser and see different kind of icons and take inspiration from those icons actually. So whenever you are trying to design something, you should first go are you listening to me? So when you are designing something, you could ignore him. Once you are designing something, you should first take inspiration from a design. Like you are making an infographic, so you should search for infographics and then see how you could execute your project, seeing at that example and using your conditions at that. So this combinedly or this collectively would give you a product which would be both unique and your own product. So you have to do the homework first. So let's go to our browser. So I'll open any browser. We can just create a new window. Okay, let's wait for the window. So our window is created. Now let's search for simple icons. We can just search for simple icons. So it would just show us some of the icons. Like you would see in the images, we would have an option, like we have now different icons here. So we can just go to this one. These seem interesting. So you could see that there are different icons, like this is the home tab icon, the email icon, the refresh icon. We have multiple icons. So I would just make a copy of this. Once I copy this, I would just then paste it in our design. So I have pasted it here. Our artboard is very small, that is 1.5 inches cross 1.5 inches. That's why the picture was too big for this size. So here you could see that we have a number of different icons, and we are required to just create 3 different icons. So we can take idea from this and then create our own icon. So how we could do that? So for that, let's take one icon from this home. So we would make one home, and for another one, like for the email, I would also take the this icon of or a message, but would integrate this at the @ icon, so to make these both a kind of email icon. And for the third one, we could actually have another icon here. So let's make the first one here the home icon. So how we could create this? If you could look at this, we have just a roof and these 2 shapes. So we would just use basic shapes here. So first of all, we can create the base of this home from here. So we have these pillars. So this is the one pillar. Let me give it a color, this color. Then we can have another pillar here. So we have these 2 pillars, and let's add another pillar, a ground here. So this is a ground. We can create it. To give it a good shape, you can just make a space like here. So we have a space here. Now we need to make it stop. So for that, let's reduce its size by this amount, and then we can create another square above it. So why square? Let me explain it in a while. So I've created a square of equal size. Then I have to create one side of it. So I would just create this icon, this corner. Once I delete this corner, you could see that our square is converted into a triangle. So now I can rotate it and then place it above our design. So you see it is a little to this side. So then I can bring these 2 to here, and this could go to the center of the house. So you see we now have this option like this one. We could also make it more better by introducing another icon. Like I can just copy this one here and give them some kind of you could say that rounded edges. So I can make its edges rounded like there, and these 2 we could bring this down, and we can also make the edges of this triangle rounded too. So I would select these 2 and then give it a kind of a round shape. And above we could also do it like this, and you see that we have created such a kind of an icon which can be used for a home, which can be used as a home icon. Or we could also add another item here, like the use of ellipse. We can create a window here. So let me give it another color and then center align it. So you see that we have this shape. We can also then add other tools like rectangle tool to make it more beautiful. Give it the same color as the background, then make a copy of it. Control F to paste it on a place. So using very similar shapes, you can create icons like this. So this was the project which we were given, and you could see that in very minimum time we have created something like this. You can even just make a simple icon. Instead of this, you could just have it like that and created it like this. So that could be another shape. You could have deleted this part and then use this as an icon. So you have plenty of options which you could explore. So I think this was enough for today. I hope you would have learned something new in here, and if you have not learned, so hopefully in the coming lectures, if we go like this, we could learn many things. Yes, so for that I would take a leave, and I'll see you in the next video. Allah Hafiz.